you're essentially you're singing your diary. So you're really putting yourself out there and hoping that people will accept you. So how does that feel going into that? And so what's the process of moving from the creative process into a more solidified process and then bringing that to people?
I would say like just booking the show. It was like once you book the show, it's like you're kind of in it. Like
Yeah.
it's shitty to like book a show and then back out because like once a flyer is made, like you're in it. And like I always knew, like we'd always say this, me and the actors would be like, if we just book a show, then we'll have to do it because it was hard. Like standing is fun and it's low stakes, but it was like we wanted to show it. Like I wanted to do the shows because it's super empowering and like the most freeing feeling, and also feedback from people was always so positive and people were always so proud, and like it was the moments where I felt the most like real and who I was doing shows, and I really wanted to do more, but I was always fucking super anxious and nervous doing them. It's like it never got easier, but yeah, I think once you book the shows, we'd be like, okay, now we need to actually practice the songs in a set list so we know how they flow into one another, so it's like a smooth transition. And yeah, like I said, the songs would kind of form themselves. You'd get these really rough structures, and then we would just keep playing the same thing over and over again, and I would record them, and then parts that we liked, we'd be like, oh, let's make sure we do that again. And it's hard to explain. They would just happen after you play the same things over and over again, and eventually we would start to just repeat the same sort of thing, and then the songs would just write themselves. And then yeah, the shows, like I remember we did a show at Zach's that was like one of the first like shows that like Ronan and I put a lot of energy into, and at the time Factotum and JP Lancaster, we're like, let's do this show and like really put energy into making it cool. So I got a bunch of artwork from what at the time was the Office of Surrealist Investigations, which was like this little art studio show place down on First Avenue. And I got all this artwork on these big rollouts of sheets, and we like covered the windows so people couldn't see in, because like Zach's was like a fishbowl. So if you were playing music, like people on the street would just like look in the window at you, and you like, so we covered the windows with all this art, and we rented lights, and like Ronan and I like really put a lot of effort in, and Ronan DJ'd in between sets and while people were coming in, and like we really wanted to make it like something new in Kamloops, because like live music scene kind of repeated in the same way as in Kamloops. So yeah, and it went so well. It was so awesome. Like the set went really well, and like just so many, I remember just like seeing so many of my friends and family just like standing right in front of me, and they were just like the looks in their faces and seeing them just like so proud and just like genuine love. I felt like to see me doing something that I felt was so exactly where I was supposed to be, like it was so special. And honestly, I just straight black out when I'm performing. It's funny, like after I'll be like, I don't even really remember parts of it, like because like you can't be in your head, and that's why I like doing it, was because I feel like I'm constantly in my fucking head. Like I'm always overthinking, I'm always anxious, I'm always feeling like I need to control every situation. And like doing shows, like I couldn't. You just have to like, I just had to go up there, and it's a moving period of time, right? So you just have to like go with it. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I would just get up there, hope I didn't forget the lyrics, and if I did forget the lyrics, I would just like make something up. You know, just got to keep it going, and like it always went super well. And I remember that show, something started happening with the mic. Like I remember I thought it was Eric who was playing drums at the time, like just like randomly slamming the drum, like the side of the drum, and I was like, okay, cool, Eric, like doing a little impromptu, like, but it turned out that the mic was doing this like weird feedback, and like, but it just worked. Like we just like worked it into the set, and yeah, it just like, it was like doing shows was like the most present I ever am in a moment. I feel like remembering is because I can't be anywhere else. So I'm like up on stage singing songs that are like super vulnerable. Like some of the lyrics are like, you can definitely pick up on what I say, and you're like, oh. Like I think in one song I like sang about like kissing a girl or something, and I remember someone came up to me after and they're like, oh, I heard that line, and I was like, I'm glad, like that's why it's there. Like I want people to like pick up, you know, these like idiosyncrasies that be like, oh, did she just say that? Or like, yeah. So yeah, the shows are very, very healing, and I feel like afterwards, the feeling after when people are clapping and you've just like showed yourself in a very vulnerable way, and you've like created art with, and especially like the process of creating the songs with the Alexes and Eric drummed for us, and also Jared Willman drummed for us. Incredible musicians too, very talented. It's really tying to them. Like it's very special to create those songs, especially because the lyrics were so personal to then have them help me create it into this like piece that people could enjoy and listen to, just it's so special. I feel very tied to them in that way, and I feel like I always will. Um, yeah, and then I think one of our songs, JP put on one of the cassettes for Factotum, which was cool. It's like I have like a physical copy of one of our songs on a cassette, which is cool. Like, yeah, it's very special. I love doing shows. I miss it a lot, but I'll get back to it one day.